Okay, so let's make some cards now. I found a color palette that I liked, which is the pink and the teal and the black and the green. So I got two pieces of, one piece of teal, and I made two card bases for me. And then I cut the pink just under an A2 size card. And then I'm looking for more ephemera to jazz these up. And that white flower and that blue flower in there came in perfect. I almost used those two little roses, but I didn't. And this is where the fun really begins for me when I'm doing these card kits. Oh, let me show you this latest tip. I went and bought these little jars at the dollar store here. They were 4 for $1. And the lipstick case thing I had from somewhere else, but it fit perfect for those little tubes. And one of them is for Tiny Brads, which were in the kit. So it was meant to be. I already had a place to put them, but I put them aside so that I could use them later with a series of videos that I'm going to do for these card kits. It's amazing. So you need to go check out their website, and I'll put a link in the description for you. Just a great, great, great deal. If you don't mind that it's not current, I don't mind. I think that these videos that I watch on YouTube are really for inspiration. I watched hundreds of them when I first started, and I liked getting inspired. Okay, so now I'm measuring how many feet came with each ribbon, and it came to 6 per color, I think. I only measured 2 of them, and I chose the blue and the white. Got my second piece of white. I had to go iron them. And now I want to do something with the pink panels. So I got a dry embossing folder from my stash that I obtained when I bought a Spellbinders mystery kit. I wouldn't do it again, but there were some things in it that I liked, but it's just too much of a mystery, and some of the stuff I didn't like at all. So, but I love that embossing folder, and it's damask patterns. So now I'm just trying to use the ribbons as a border along the left side, and I don't mind if they crisscross. You see how those crisscross? Isn't that cool? And that blue is very faint. You can barely see it, but I like the subtlety of it. So now I'm just playing around with some placement of the different pieces of ephemera. I finally decide that that's what I want, so I put them aside and try to remember where they're at. And I decide to put these on top of the bases with some foam tape. So I mount those up nice and clean. At first I tried to use some glue for the Cheers banner here, but it wasn't sticking, and I had to go back and use some foam tape for it, and that worked fine. And then I put the flowers on with some white glue, and they take a little bit of pressing to make sure they stick, but once they stick, they're not moving unless you tear the paper. So I like that. So now these ones I'm just popping up with some foam tape as well on this side. And then when I turned them around to place them in the layout that I had already figured out, I didn't like it. I'm like, what the heck was I thinking? So I fiddled and fiddled and fiddled and fiddled. There we go. I finally figured out what to do with it. And then I found that sentiment there, smile, on that speech bubble, but I didn't like that it was a speech bubble because there was nobody talking in the scene. So I was looking for something else, and then I realized, oh, ding dong, you can just cut off the little speech bubble triangle part. Took me a little to figure that out. Still haven't thought about it. Aha! And then the other one on the right, yeah, that last little flower, it needed 1/3 little element down there. And I just love the way these cards came out. Now, let me tell you, this is really my style. If you see all my other cards from before I started doing all the other card kits and everything and starting my YouTube channel, it's hard to find your own way, you know? So I think I struggled with doing things that I think people want to see as opposed to what I like to do. And this is totally me right here. So welcome to my nightmare. Now I'm just trying to figure out where to put these little sequins, and the one on the left I had no problem with, but this one on the right I just could not figure out what to do, but I didn't want to give up. Kept trying and kept trying and kept trying, and then I remembered I had those pink and white ones that came from another Spellbinders kit actually, and they came pink, white, and like a crystal pink, and I finally settled on 3 white ones along the side there. So I'm going to be making some more cards from these 2 kits. I would love it if you subscribe and hit the bell so that you'll be notified when I do a couple new ones. I'm going to try and do them as many as I can, as fast as I can, but I do have some other obligations coming up. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.